What if I told you your dream of settling in the UK permanently could suddenly become harder or even delayed? Breaking news. A major rebellion has erupted inside the UK government, and it's all about ILR, Indefinite Leave to Remain. Yes, the exact same ILR that thousands of migrants, students, and workers are depending on right now. The immigration minister is under massive pressure. But what does this mean for you? Will the rules change again? And is your future in the UK at risk? Stick with me, because today's update could completely change your immigration strategy. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Visa Guide Hub, your trusted source for the latest UK immigration updates. I'm your host, and today we're unpacking a major political storm that could impact thousands of immigrants across the UK. This is not just news. This is an explainer of a developing situation that could directly affect your future, your plans, and your family. We're going to look objectively at the facts of what's happening inside the Labour Party right now. Here's exactly how we'll break this down today. First, the ILR labor rebellion. Second, the retrospective rule change causing all of this. Third, 3 core MP objections. Fourth, the potential policy scenarios. And finally, actionable steps you can take right now. Okay, part 1, the ILR labor rebellion and understanding the political landscape. When politicians start fighting internally, it usually means big changes are coming. Let's break this down in simple words. Right now, inside the UK's ruling Labour Party, a rebellion has absolutely exploded. Notice that number right there, 100. Over 100 Labour MPs are openly challenging their own leadership, formally pushing back against the proposed extension of the ILR qualifying period. So the Home Secretary is facing massive opposition, not just from the other side, but from within her own party. And the sheer scale of this pushback is massive. We're talking about a national campaign launched by the Unison Union right in the Home Secretary's own constituency of Birmingham Ladywood. Plus, the Skilled Migrants Alliance has a live legal challenge going. So you've got serious legal pressure, union pressure, and internal parliamentary opposition all hitting at the exact same time. Moving on to part 2, the retrospective rule change and what it means to change the rules for those already here. To really understand why everyone is so upset, you have to look at this term, retrospective application. This means applying new, stricter immigration rules to people who are already in the UK. We're talking about individuals who made huge life decisions, bought homes, and invested everything based on the previous 5-year framework. They were promised one thing, and now the rules might change on them midway. The pushback against this is coming from the very top. Former Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner has publicly criticized this retrospective element, flat out calling it unfair. When someone not senior publicly calls her own colleague's flagship policy unfair, you know it's a massive political event. And it's not just a moral argument, there's serious legal weight here too. Rebellious MPs and advocates are pointing to the legitimate expectation doctrine. This is the exact same legal principle that won the 2008 High-Skilled Migrant Program court case. The argument is super simple. You literally cannot promise a 5-year pathway, let people build a life on it, and then suddenly move the goalposts. Section 3. 3 core MP objections, covering the moral, financial, and economic arguments. Let's look at why they are pushing back so hard. So what exactly are these MPs demanding? Their objections basically boil down to 3 things. First, applying this retrospectively is viewed as morally wrong and destroys trust. Second, the financial justification has completely collapsed. And third, they're warning that this policy severely threatens the global talent pipeline. Let's dig into that financial collapse, because this is wild. Initially, the government claimed that extending the ILR period would save a staggering £10 billion. 10 billion! That was the massive headline number used to justify making these sweeping changes to settlement rules. But then, Freedom of Information data came out and completely contradicted that claim. The actual projected savings? About £600 million over 10 years. That is literally just 6% of their original claim. MPs are absolutely furious, arguing you cannot alter the lives of over 1 million people based on math that was this far off. And then there's the broader economic impact. MPs are warning that if the UK creates an unstable settlement framework where rules keep changing, it ruins our ability to compete. Why would a highly skilled tech worker or an international student choose the UK when competitor markets like Canada, Australia, or Germany offer stable, predictable pathways? If policies become too strict, businesses struggle and the talent just leaves. Section 4, potential policy scenarios and what could actually happen next. Let's look at how this might realistically play out. Based on the political pressure, we're looking at 3 main scenarios. First, the optimistic view.
Meaningful modification, where the retrospective element is removed entirely, honoring the original paths. Second, a partial win with transitional protection, meaning exemptions for specific groups or entry dates. Or third, the status quo, where the government stubbornly holds its position and the whole thing ultimately gets decided by the courts.
What you really need to take away from this is that the situation is completely in motion. Because of the collapsed financial claims and this massive rebellion, the probability of the government modifying this policy is significantly higher today than it was 6 months ago. Finally, Section 5. Actionable steps for you to navigate this uncertainty. If you're on a visa route to ILR right now, what should you do? Here is my practical advice. Step 1. If you currently meet the 5-year criteria, apply immediately. Do not delay. Step 2. Make your decisions based on the confirmed rules today, not tomorrow's hopes. And step 3. Please seek proper legal advice for your specific situation. Don't rely on guesswork when it comes to your future. I really want to emphasize this point. Plan around what is confirmed, but closely monitor what is developing. Immigration is becoming more political than ever. Governments change policies based on pressure, and one policy change can impact years of your hard work, so staying updated is necessary. I know many of you watching are working day and night, leaving families behind, saving every penny, and hoping for a better future. News like this can feel absolutely devastating. But remember, the argument for your right to settle is currently being debated at the highest levels of British politics. Your contribution matters, and people in power are fighting for fairness. So we're left with this question. Will legal and political pressure force a reversal before it's too late for thousands of migrants? The pressure is building from every direction, and the outcome will define the UK's immigration landscape for years to come. Make sure you plan your strategy carefully, and thank you for joining me for this explainer.